Alright everyone, good evening. It's 11 o'clock at night Pacific, and I'm going to get started real quick on the New Zealand dollar. This is the weekly, and as you can see, I have a three-wave move down here, and a W, X, and a Y. Right now you can be counted this is a 1, 2, and then we are currently in wave 3, and I do not believe that wave 3 is complete. So when I go to a smaller time frame, I'll go from the weekly to the daily, just to give a little bit of a better analysis of where we're at. As you can see, the W, the X, and the Y for 4 or for 2. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but you can clearly count 5 waves down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, 2, and then now you have you can have a 1, 2, then a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 for 3. However, I believe this is wave 3 of 3, and I'm expecting a move up from this particular low of 68.18 to approximately 69.90 or 70, between 70, 10, 7010, somewhere around there. You should find a critical resistance level, and pretty much where my blue line is at, around 70, 70.05 or so. And from there, I expect levels to drop down below 68, basically, to complete wave 3, and then you'll have a larger move up above 70. On the flip side, if this is wave 3, then you'll see prices most likely go a bit above 70, and it can go more towards 70.50, but it should not go above 71.33, which basically, if this is the 1, well, wave 4 can't enter the territory of wave 1, and it will take some time. But I do expect another drop in the dollar before a correction, and within the next couple of days or so, I'm going to expect prices to move up, find some resistance. At that point, I would exit once I get above 100 ticks or so, and then I'll look for a move to the downside, which is strengthen the dollar. If I look at a 240, just to give a little bit more of a clear path, if I can, you have the 2 here, you have 1, 2, another 1, 2, and then you can have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 for 3. But this can be 3 of 3, and now this can be A, B, possibly C for 4, but this can also be 4 here. So this will be basically 1, 2, 3 for A, and then if correct, you'll see wave B probably find some support near 68, 63 or so, and then wave C would move up and find some resistance near the 70, 69, 90, 70 area, if this particular pattern in this label is correct. I originally had my stop loss at around 68.83, but I expect that to be taken, so I lowered my stop just below the Ichimoku support line. So I'm expecting over the next couple of hours the Ichimoku cloud would rise up, and that will make the prices pretty much go up with it. So that is the New Zealand dollar. Keep an eye out on that. You would want to be trading this to the downside unless you're a professional trader. Then you can counter trend trade if that's something you can do, but make sure that your risk is small and you can manage it well. But the reward is to the downside in this particular market. So if you are not currently in this particular market, you would want to wait till prices get more towards the 70 level, and then you could take a short with your stop being at about 30 to 40 ticks above wherever you particular enter. Moving on, and just to look at the euro before I close it out. So the euro, it did not, it's basically finding resistance below my critical resistance level of 1680. It's coming close, but basically you can see it made just about a triple top, for sure a double top. Well, actually it was a triple top because it went here, and then it went here. 3 different times. So I'm expecting a move to the downside, at which most likely price will find some support right at the current low of around 1576. If it does move below the 1776, I would expect it to find some critical support at around 1580. Did I say 17? But yeah, 1576. I would expect it to find some critical support at around 1580. And if it happens to go near the 1530, that's where I am looking, hopefully, to where it would end wave C of 4. I'm not sure if it's going to get there right now, though. I think what is going to happen is that this is the 1, 2, you have the 3, 4, and then possibly a wave 5 for 3, and then you'll have a larger wave 4 that will go more back towards mid 17. However, it wouldn't be able to go here if the 1's here, so it wouldn't be able to go past 1700. So that would change a lot. This may be prices may go around that 1550 area, and if it gets near 1530, that's still good enough. But that doesn't mean that we will see a turn. So just keep an eye on this market. It hasn't been doing anything for a little over a week now. It's been ranging, which in Elliott terms, it's definitely in some sort of triangle or consolidation. Definitely a correcting market. So it's very difficult to label correcting markets, because at the end of the day, you just don't know. I mean, even if it's an impulsive market, you still don't really know, but it's very easy to label an impulsive market, a 1, 3, or 5 versus a 2 or 4 or a B or an X. So either way, I'm still going to be doing my best to label, and I'm going to catch this market either way, whether it goes up or down. So that's the 360, and if we look at it on a daily, it's pretty much the same thing. I showed it yesterday, so nothing's changed on a daily. It's still pretty early. I did look at it on a 5-minute chart, which I don't ever do, but I was just looking at it just to kind of see. I got a buddy of mine who trades on 4-minute charts, and I just happened to try to see if I can see what the logic was to trading on a smaller time frame, other than if you are scalping, basically. And all in all, honestly, the only thing I saw, which you can see, this market is, I mean, this chart is all jacked up, but this is just, it's not me. Either way, it's not me. Earlier I did find a low. This was earlier this morning. So this was what, about 250. Oh no, I saw the low at 250. I was watching this, and when I put the GAN fans there, I noticed how the GAN fans started acting as support and resistance levels once I found the particular low. So what I was pretty much looking at was I was trying to see what would happen once price broke the 8x1, and so far, ever since it did break the 8x1, it's been trending lower. It doesn't mean anything. This is a 5-minute chart. I don't know anything about these charts. I pay little attention to it. So it's just something I'm looking at to try to get someone else's logic to see how they're finding success in smaller time frames. But just from looking at it, it's just something that I'm probably going to shy away from. But just good to look at when the markets aren't doing anything and I get bored. So enough with that. And the last thing would be most likely the pound. This is starting to look a little fishy to me, because it is very difficult to count 5 waves here. Because if you even started from the top and you said that's 1 and this is 2, and let's say this is 3, and then you say this is 4, well, this is a very long wave 5, which is larger. You also have wave 1, which is larger, and you have wave 3 as the shortest. And that's a rule that's broken. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest. Therefore, you can change it to an A, possibly B or C, but if that's the case, well, then this is not the end of wave 4. And we're pretty much still in a correcting. The doubts I have with that is once the market tapped out or pretty much found a top at 36.60 or so, you saw a 600 tick move, and that is very difficult for me to see this in a correcting manner. This is a bit impulsive. This just went down. So I'm not saying that the top of wave 4 is in place, but I don't see it as any other way. But on the flip side, if it is in place, this is not wave 1 here, and therefore on the same side, this is not wave 4 here. So I'm not sure what's going on. What I did do is I did take a short a couple of hours ago, and I did a small 30 pip stop, just to try to see if I can find a different pattern in this. If you look at it on the weekly, it's a little bit more clear. You can see if this is 3, this is a WX, and this is a Y4. The only other thing I can think of is this is not a 3 and this is a 5, and now you have a 1, 2, 3, and now you're working on a 4. And now this is actually possibly the A here, and now you're working on either a triangle B or a flat B or an X. So that is possible too, but I don't know. And if that's the case, if this is a 3 and this is a 4 possibly, well then you're going to see another move up that can go back more towards 140, which is showing signs of dollar weakness, which in turn, if on the euro, if I expect it to find support at a low of around 1530 and go up to possibly 123, it tends to make a little sense in correlation. But the only thing with the correlation part is, at the end of the day, once prices did find support on the euro at around 123, then we were expecting a move to the downside below 96. So if it was any correlation, then the bottom, then basically what we will be saying is that this is a wave 5, and now you're going to see a dollar weakness over the course of the next year or so. And also, if you look at the weekly, if you look at the weekly euro weekly, then you could kind of say the same thing. Whereas this is not a 3, this is a 5. Or I'm sorry, this will be the 3, and then this particular low will be the 5. And now you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, or basically 3, 4, 5 for A. And then, the move down would probably end at around 108 or something for B. And then you're going to have a move up well below 128 or so. Even larger than that, it can go more towards 130 for C. So that's just Elliott. You never get married, never become married to one particular county. You always, thinking on your toes and thinking of alternates. You don't want to have too many alternates, but you do want to just look at the bright side and see, could it be something else? And that is possible. It could be. But until it actually shows more signs of that, I'm going to be betting that the dollar is getting stronger uh, temporarily. And then this is over the next of the course month. So a quick spike down is what I'm expecting, and then a dollar weakness above, a couple hundred pips, and then from there the continuance of the dollar. So last but not least, looking at, let's see if I can find it. That's not it. This is it here. If you look at, this is a 60-minute dollar exchange. You can see here clearly on the Ichimoku clouds that prices should be still headed to the downside. However, price is currently above the cloud. So with that being said, until this price here breaks through this particular line, well then we should see the euro and possibly the pound as well as New Zealand fall as well. The only good thing I'm actually currently in, and it's going as I expected, was the CAD. I think I was in at around a couple days ago. I think I was up like 140, and I've already pretty much got another 120 so ticks. So I am expecting price to continue to find resistance at around 129.35 or so. And at that point, I've already raised my stop. I'm actually going to raise my stop a little higher and lock in some more ticks. And whatever it decides to do from there, if it takes me out, then it takes me out, because I don't expect it to go too much further than what it currently is. Because if this is a 1, 2, 3, well, wave 4 should be ending here, and then we should see another move to the downside. So just on those markets there, you have dollar strength temporarily, followed by weakness, and then the continuance of dollar strength if correct. So we'll see how it goes. Other than that, I wanted to keep this short and just expect not much movement at all, probably until Friday, non-farm payroll. But all in all, I'll still be posting. So you'll be hearing from me today or tomorrow or the following day. Happy trading.